Ladies and gentlemen, we're live, back in action. Let's go. Let's go. Are we ready? Are we ready to rumble? Rumble? Who said rumble? Brr, brr, brr. How are we doing? How are we doing? How'd you guys do today in the markets? Dan the man in the building, showing up. Ugans, man. Billy, let's go. Vlog, nice cut. Shuris, Valico. I figured I'd put on the lucky hat. I figured we'd put on the lucky hat and see if it has a good, fucking something. If it'll do something for this stock. Maybe it's a good omen or something. We'll see. Yeah, it was a pretty good day. A lot of those growth stocks definitely did well. As you get more of those recession fears, portfolio should start to look pretty good. Watch, I put the lucky hat on, and then we're going to be like really red tomorrow. I'm just playing. We shouldn't be. I mean, at some point, any day now, you're going to see a bounce. And I want to see how, I guess, call it ferocious or how violent that rally back to the upside is. Is it just as violent as the downside moves? This 12% down, 4 or 5% down. That's what I really want to see. And that's going to be pretty important. But we do have Catalyst this week. But, in the grand scope of things, we are still holding a lot of gains. So, the situation still looks really good. Portfolio up 6% today. Yeah, mine was about 6%. Somewhere around there. Edward Morgan in the house. Robert Vaughn in the house, a.k.a. holder of the shares. There we go, baby. Back in business. We need some violence. Yes. We need some violent price action. Where's Ling Ling? She's with her mom. She's going to come over later, but they live far away. Like an hour and a half away. We're just like gas and fire sometimes, so it's best that way. But I get Ling Ling half the week, so it's good. So Ling Ling, she was singing today. Oh man, she's so goofy. Like the hat, we need all the good luck we can get. That's what I was saying. I was looking at it, and it was just looking back at me. I'm like, that might actually, help. Maybe a good omen. I don't know. It can't hurt. It's good. We getting there not this week, next week. Yeah, what do you guys think about the rest of this week? Actually, let me ask you, why do you think the markets have rallied like this? I asked people in the trading group, and it's like, well, because Young Pow basically said everything's fine. That was the consensus. Lou says AMC should partner with Starbucks. That's not a terrible idea. It's kind of hard to partner with a something like Starbucks unless they had like machines or something, or like granted, the movie theaters around me are not. I wouldn't think it would make sense to put a whole Starbucks in them. But I could see that for like California, cities with millions of people. I could definitely see that. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Cheese Chaser. Cheese Chaser and Chris, the Win Lambo. I missed that. I missed that. Is this the dip before the rip or nah? Um, I guess yes and no, because we've already seen a good rip. We are dipping, and I do think we will stay above the next key level at 21, which would still have a lot of gains in the bag, and then you'll likely see a pretty violent move back up to the upside. So, you know, like a yes and no kind of scenario there. My outlook for the squeeze has still not changed. I was starting to feel like, hey, maybe I was wrong with my end of summer fall prediction here, um, but it's kind of what it's looking like. Especially, mark my words on this. Mark my words on this. We've been pretty spot on with the longer term trends in the markets. Um, Besides Russia and Ukraine war, I did not predict that. I was totally wrong in that. I did not think that was going to happen. But like with the recession, we were talking about this 6 months ago, the liquidity crunch that is coming. That's what really does dictate what's going to happen with AMC for the most part. And that's a good thing, right? When it becomes more expensive to remain in these positions because they're revolving lines of credit. They're not fixed loans. The market changes too much for these to be fixed loans that they have. Their margin rates as well, cost to borrow, margin rates. But on top of that, likely Wednesday, you're going to see on the minutes the Fed talking about reducing the balance sheet in May. And that's not priced in on the one hand. So you might see some downward pressure on AMC and the broad markets. But what that really does, I want everybody to be fully aware of this. So the Fed, they really focus on the short end of the curve. The Fed buys a lot of the 3-month bonds as well as the 2-year bonds, right? So a lot of those 2-year bonds, think about 2 years ago when the pandemic started, right? In March of 2020, it's April of 2022. A lot of those bonds are starting to come to maturity. So what the Fed has been doing is basically when those bonds come to maturity, they take that money and then they roll them over into new bonds. So it kind of keeps their portfolio, let's just call it that, their balance sheet flat. And what they've been doing, obviously buying bonds every single month. So now their I keep calling it portfolio, but their balance sheet should remain flat in theory. It shouldn't really go up or down all too much because they're not really doing anything right now, right? So once those come to maturity, what they want to do now and what they're saying is running those off. So just letting them basically mature and taking that off their balance sheet. But what they actually started to hint at, or what Fed Williams hinted at on Saturday, was actually starting to sell some assets as well. And what that does is a bond is a fixed rate, like a dividend stock. Like I've talked about this before, but it's a fixed rate. So when the Fed starts to sell bonds, that pushes the price down. It pushes the yield up, just like a dividend stock going down. And really how that affects the broad economy as well as hedge funds, right? It doesn't necessarily matter as much how many times the Fed raises rates. Them raising rates, that's only the interest rate that banks must pay other banks to lend money back and forth between those banks. It really has very little to do with the interest rates that you will see. It does directly affect margin rates, but not as much for the hedge funds. Now, when they get rid of these assets on their balance sheet and those rates go up on the treasury bonds, that's what really will start to hurt the hedge funds in a very massive way. And I don't think the markets are really pricing that in for right now. And I don't think the hedge funds are pricing the Feds possibly selling off their balance sheet in May. So that's going to put a lot of upside pressure on yields. And that's what really dictates a lot of these cost to borrow rates. It's going to dictate margin rates as well. Why would you loan me money at 4% or 3% when you could go loan the government money for a higher amount. You wouldn't do that, right? Because I have a higher risk of defaulting. What you would do in that scenario is charge me, say, double the amount or 30-40% more than that rate. So as the Fed's rates go up, the Treasuries, so will those rates that it, cost of capital is what they call it to lend out money. So looking pretty damn good. And the longer it goes on, the more expensive it becomes. There's no sign of the Fed stopping what they're going to be doing. So when I look at all of that, I see that. And that's the broad economy. That's not really something a lot of creators like AMC, retail folks talk about. And I think it's the biggest component of at least my bullish thesis is every day it becomes harder for these guys to hold on to their positions. Doesn't even matter what happens to the stock. Doesn't even matter. It's those rates, those cost to borrow rates, and the margin rates going up that really starts to hurt them in a substantial way. And then you pack into there recession fears. Growth stocks, recovery stocks are going to do better than some of your more, cyclical stocks, right? The ones that are hot in a good economy, like value stocks, like your Clorox or something like that. Or Charmin, if that's a stock, stuff like that. Growth will do better, and then AMC is going to have revolving lines of catalysts. So I feel like I get more bullish every single day this thing goes on. Fine folks feel about the future of cannabis stocks if legalization passes. I think see, it's kind of one of those things like it's a tough one because I would imagine that the companies with a lot of money, like Altria, they would probably benefit a lot from that. They like when you can go to a gas station and buy pre-rolls in a cigarette pack, right? Like that kind of form. What company's really going to thrive in that kind of stuff when you can go and buy like cartridges and stuff like that from a gas station? I would believe it would be like something like Altria. At the same time, it's really hard to tell if I was going to invest in cannabis stocks just in general, I would probably get a good majority of all of them. I would steer clear of some of the losers there that probably are going to fail in the next couple of years, but I would buy some of the better ones like Canopy. I would buy Tilray. I would buy Quran. SNDL does have good product lines, so I might buy them too. But yeah, there's too many old people in Congress still that are just not about it. They should though. That's a lot of tax revenue they're missing out on. Say the markets will do what the hell they want. Yeah. The markets can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. Love that quote, but this is the dip, but you won't see the rip until you stop touching yourself at night. Those are wise words. I feel it. We getting close, trying to make us think it's over so apes can sell. Yeah, that's part of it too, trying to break people. That's a huge thing. If they could successfully break people's morale, they won at that point, right? That's the biggest asset that this community has. It's like, we don't really care. We know the data. We see you're not covering. We see you're still doing this. Manipulation or not, those facts are there. Even if all the manipulation stopped, wouldn't even change a thought in my mind. It might actually be bullish, right? We might not see these manipulative halts and things like that going on. Yeah, they can't break me. They can't break us. Who do they think you guys are? I definitely would never bet against retail. And I never do. Never do. Stupid decision. Stupid. hedge funds have billions of dollars. I'm sure short premiums are pennies to them. Well, it all works the same, right? So if you have like AMC is not the only short positions that these funds have. They have a lot of other short positions as well. So we look at it like a hedge fund's portfolio, right? If they're trying to, like, that's what a hedge fund is supposed to do, is hedge out. It's literally in the name. So their goal is not to make a ton of money. Obviously, that's a good thing, but their goal is to give you a consistent gain every single year. S&P returns 7% on average. If they can get you 10% every single year, it's not crazy, but it's better than the markets, and it's consistent. Sometimes the S&P goes down 10% a year. If they can be consistent, they're good in that aspect. But the way they structure their portfolios is, either 70% long, 30% short, or other different ways that they, depending on the market environment, it really can change all the time. But if you're saying a hedge fund's portfolio is 30% short, and, just theoretically, right? I don't know. But if the Fed comes out on the minutes and says, yeah, we're going to start running off the balance sheet, the markets are going to react instantly. The TLT, the 20-year treasury, is going to fall. The 10-year bonds, they're all going to fall. Because why the fuck would you hold on to treasury bonds if you knew the Fed was going to start selling them? They're going to go down in value, right? So when you look at it like that, you can get surprised fairly easily if you're a hedge fund, especially if you're not a more sophisticated hedge fund, which obviously that they're not all sophisticated. They all don't properly hedge out their portfolios. Look at Tiger Global, down 34%. That was like one of the most, I guess, call it admired hedge funds there was. They returned 45% in 2020. Great returns. And then they lost 34% in the first quarter. They lost more than I lost. And I'm in a lot of risky stocks. A lot of your DraftKings, SoFi, AMC, AMD, Abivai. I have 2 dividend stocks, Abivai and UWMC, right? Snapchat, Lucid, Affirm, PayPal, Square. Those are my holdings for the most part. Mullen, there's a couple smaller ones as well. And those are just shares. They lost more than me on those companies that were down 50, 60%. Yes, did make money on trades, right? But that's not properly managing risk if you're down 34% in a quarter and you're underperforming the average retail investor. So they can be surprised and they can lose money in that regard. It is pennies if they just have like one position, right, in AMC. Then it's not going to matter all too much, but that's not how they tend to operate. And that's why you see short squeezes too. It's like they operate in a way that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, let me show you a prime example. Prime, like, couldn't get better. BBIG, right? Listen to this. There is going to be a major catalyst, a spin-off dividend with the TikTok competitor. Like, this could be a big company down the line. Who knows? You could speculate on that if you want to. Point is, there's going to be a major catalyst. The stock is probably going to hit $10 sometime this year once that actually does come out. Could vary though. Might go to 5, might go to 8, might go to 9, depending on the market conditions at the time that comes out. But we know that's going to come out sometime this year. What are shorts doing? Well, it's 16.2% short. They borrowed 4.2 million shares. They returned 3.18 million shares. They net, borrowed 1.03 million shares. Today, T+2, whatever, you get the idea there. They know they're going to get squeezed out of their positions, but they don't even act on it. It's the same thing for AMC or a lot of these other trades as well. They don't really think rationally when it comes down to it. They act first, make decisions later when they have to and they start to lose money. They passed Congress, no, waiting on the Senate, I think. Yeah, I do think so. I think you are right. And there's a lot of support for it, but it seems like there's always somebody or a group of people that comes in and shuts it down. But eventually it's going to happen. I could see it here in the next I mean, could be sooner than later, but definitely in the next couple of years. So I'm excited about it. I think there will be a lot of opportunities in that. I was involved with the cannabis runs in 2017. What was it? 2019, I think there was one, and there's been like 3 of them now. So we'll see. I think there's going to be companies that emerge that will do really good. My kids broke me. Yeah, this kids are expensive. Get down or lay down. Yeah. This would be a completely different conversation if, shorts were actually covering. But look at that, cost to borrow max 230%, 230% cost to borrow. Let's just say the minimum there, cost to borrow minimum 35%. Cut that in half if you want to. Say 17% cost to borrow. That's a lot. And with the margin rates as high as they are, dude, you're stupid for being in this. You're flat out just a dumbass. Like, if I was a hedge fund, I would never be in a trade like that. It doesn't make sense on a risk management basis. Like, what's the odds that BBIG goes to 150 rather than goes to $6 when you know a major catalyst is coming? It doesn't make any sense. Same thing for AMC. It's like the odds of this thing doubling from here, a lot greater than it halving again, unless we do see a major market meltdown. In that case, disregard what I just said. Anything is on the table when you're talking about mass panic in the markets. But much better chance of doubling rather than halving from here. And we're still holding on to a lot of those gains, so it does look pretty damn good right now. Like, I remember last week, I was like, I'll just be happy, honestly. Like, I said this in a video, like, I'll just be happy if it's above $21 to close the week. That wasn't my price target. That was, a lot more bullish, and that's what happened. But I definitely cannot complain. What do you think about Melvin Capital trying to get it a new investors fund for long positions only? I think they're sick of losing, honestly. It's one of those things like you guys will go through it, right? When you're trying to learn how to trade, if you don't trade like that already, you might do strategies that I don't know. I couldn't really say off the top of my head. Or like dividend chasing. A lot of people do that. A lot of people buy stocks for the dividend, buy options around dividends. Terrible idea. Do not do that. But you'll come to find out you lose so many times, you want to switch your strategy. You want to try something different. And that's kind of what they're doing right now. Can you see this going to 10K? Yeah, as long as all the shorts are forced to cover and people actually hold on to their stock. After the last 2 years we've seen, I mean, I wouldn't say anything is impossible. Like, honestly, we've seen a pandemic. We've seen war in Ukraine. We've seen shit we haven't seen in 70, 80, 90, 100 years. All in the last 2 years. The Simpsons were right after all. Fucking crazy. MC Legend right here hosting. There we go. One day we will all be legends, and they will make movies about us and our chat rooms. That'd be a great movie. You think Adam Aaron is about to buy a popcorn making company? thinking that would probably be a good move. I mean, if you could have the whole process yourself, because I would imagine, you know, if with the popcorn business, there's good profits involved with it, but if you own the whole process and you're not paying basically all the manufacturing costs, the marketing costs that go into having somebody else make your product, you'd make more money. And especially if AMC does become a big player in the popcorn industry. Only time will tell on that, but I imagine they will. Good products tend to turn into good businesses. Invert the like/watching curve. Tickle the like pickle. Yes, invert the curve. We're already inverted, so let's just invert everything. We're still inverted. We are still inverted. We did bounce up a little bit, though. April 1st, on my birthday, we were inverted as hell. 0.066 basis points, which is not crazy, but still. And then today, we're hardly inverted by negative 0.01. So we're still inverted. Let's look at the 5 and 30. 5 and 30 is another big one, and then the 3-month and 10-year, which a lot of people like to look at that one. Is this one not inverted now? No, it doesn't look like it's inverted right now. It was, though. But, man, they always want money for this shit. But it did invert briefly. That's not right. Briefly inverts for the first time. Yeah, it was brief. But the 3... See, this one's actually steepening. The 3 to 10 years. So what that's telling you is there's less risk here in the next 3 months of a recession than, not in the next, 10 years per se, but there's not a very high chance of going into recession in the next 3 months. But the 3 to 10, very important too. You could see inversion, recession, inversion, recession, inversion, recession, inversion, recession. But you want to own stocks when the yield curve inverts, believe it or not. That's maybe not the 3 and 10 year. You definitely don't during that because it tends to lead to a recession a lot faster since it's the 3-month curve. But yeah, with like the 2 to 10, you definitely want to own stocks when those invert. So it's pretty interesting. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of action tomorrow, baby. Hey, good morning, America. American stock market never sleeps. That's true. That is true. They say in the next, by the end of this year, they want an exchange that is 24/7. Yeah, but they say here in the next couple years that will be a thing. Interesting. You're inverted. I would agree. Yes, we are all inverted, degenerate, gambling bastards. Okay. Got it. Hey, Tyler, just wondering if you heard Lou's idea for an AMC and Starbucks partnership. Seems like an awesome idea to me. What do you think? Uh, I do think it's a good idea in the busy locations. It's not, obviously not for every location, but California, New York, places that have a lot of foot traffic or that are good location, things like that. It would definitely make sense. If AMC makes me rich, I'll buy all the damn popcorn. Yeah, I think it'll do very, very well. Come on, 118 people watching now and only 41 likes. Hit the like button. They're sleeping on it. They're sleeping on it. I feel them though. It's free 99 though. Free 99. How much percentage you lose on AMC? I put 19K in one moment. I lost 11.5K, 68%. Yeah, I was down a lot. I was down something like that too, like 50 something. I don't know if it was that much, but it was close. It was very, very close. You think Twitter stock will continue to run tomorrow? Let's take a look at it. What the hell is that? It's definitely got a a big catalyst, that's for sure. Fucker gapped up. Look at that gap up. They weren't playing around. 39 to 50. That was like a stellar earnings report move. Even better. I mean, that was crazy. But I mean, I definitely think there's a good chance that it will. You're coming up to that 200-day moving average, $52.08 per share. If you can really get above that, that's where the thing really starts to run. Elon did say though that it was like a passive investment. Twitter CEO, consequences of Musk poll will be important. Twitter CEO Argawal comments on Musk poll on edit button. The consequence of this poll will be important. Please vote carefully. Where is it? Yeah, he said a passive stake. I don't know where he said that at. But did Russia pay the bond payment today? Despite strict economic sanctions, striking currency reserves, and nervous banks, Russia has kept up with payments for government debt, confounding expectations from just a few weeks ago when the rating agencies believed a default was imminent and the government said it might repay its international loans in rubles. Quote, people look at this and are scratching their heads, said Michael Bolliger, the chief investment officer for emerging markets at UBS Global Wealth Management. He said they were asking, how is this possible and why is Russia willing to repay? Monday had been expected to be a test for Russian debt with more than $2 billion due to be paid in U.S. dollars, but last week Russia bought back about 3/4 of the debt in exchange for rubles, a relatively unusual move that shrank its dollar obligations. That still left $552 million to be paid. The finance ministry didn't say if the payment had been made. Okay, so no clarity on that. 500 million, that shouldn't be too crazy. We'll see though. We'll see what kind of effect that has. I'm still up 200%, 1170 average. There you go. There you go. Elon could buy more. Crazy, right? Yeah, Elon could buy the whole company very easily. It wouldn't even like. I mean, it wouldn't be a big deal to him. Tell Elon to invest in AMC. That should help out. Honestly, I don't know why he hasn't. Just to send a message, just because, why not? Like, this is all probably for fun. Elon is probably investing in Twitter for just straight up fun, just to get a reaction out of people and move the stock. Like, I think that's what he likes to do. Like, he don't even care. He just wants to see reactions. But yeah, you are seeing a lot of COVID cases in China though. Shanghai reports a record 13,354 cases for Monday. We'll see how that affects things, because if they start locking shit down, then not going to be good. Not going to be good at all for supply chains. And they also did say, where is it? This is on the main page. U.S. warns Russia will intensify its military operations in Ukraine. Yeah, and then bear market rally is setting stage for a correction. Morgan Stanley's Mike Wilson warns. Yep. They go from the bull market is here to the stock market's about to fall apart in 2 days. Because he's a part of the agenda. Elon investing in AMC. Tesla charges in AMC parking lots. Honestly, not a bad idea. My friend works at a hospital, and their doctor said they haven't had positive COVID tests in over 3 weeks. Yeah, I haven't. I personally don't know anybody that has it right now or has had it recently. I kind of forgot it was a thing for a while. Nobody wears masks anymore. Not in Michigan. People were against masks the whole time. Is the most, guys? Is tomorrow the big day? Yes, indeed it is. No, I don't know. Hopefully. I mean, I definitely would encourage that. But we'll see. We'll see. Really depends. Are we going to get a catalyst tomorrow? If we do, it's all because of you, Evergreens. Your credit will be given. I work at a hospital and cases are none. Yeah. That's how it was in when my daughter was born, August of 2020. There was no cases in the hospital. None. Say well handled with little brains. I mean, I hope everybody makes money, but just yeah, wasn't a good conversation. We could get 10 catalysts and this thing could go down, to be honest. I think it comes down to like what is fundamentally going to make a difference, and then how investors feel about that. With the gold mining one, it wasn't really seen as a good thing for a while, and then they made money on it, and boom, it was a good thing. So I think that sets a good precedent, right? If your last or company's last investment was good, markets are more than likely going to price in the next one's going to be good as well. Pharmacy that does COVID testing, we haven't had a positive test in a long time. Damn. Yeah, just kind of went away, huh? I had it in August. And it was boring. Man, it was so boring. He's a technocrat? What's a technocrat? I have no idea what that is, to be honest. He looks full of grief and sorrow. I don't know why he's so sad. He seems pretty happy sometimes. Maybe it's just like his face. Some people got like a resting bitch face. He's just got a resting sad face. You invested in Tesla. Your thoughts, if any? Thank you. I was going to invest in it really big around the time my daughter was born. I was actually in the hospital and I was going to load up on it. And I never pulled the trigger, but I have been periodically buying it. I haven't bought it in a while. I'm only up like 45% on it. Like decent return, but it's not like hundreds of percents like other people. And I honestly don't own a lot. I think I have close to 1 share. Like it's nothing crazy, but resting sad face. You were his age with all this shit on your mind, you would look that same way too. Yeah, probably. I mean, he still has hair. I mean, you can give him that. He should grow a mullet. That would make the stock rally. I wanted to grow a mullet. I'm like, man, we're bringing the 80s back. 70s. You know what I'm saying? What trades are you guys looking at, though? What are the hot stocks? Let's see. What's trending on StockTwits? You can actually get some very good due diligence from StockTwits. I'm just playing. Not really, but kind of. Gores. Guggenheim. What was that news? Let's see. People love to post the news. Is that it? I know there was I was looking at this one today, but I never, I did not pull the trigger on it. Let's just see what comes up. Shares are rising today. Hertz and Polestar announced global strategic partnership. Hertz is in everything. Hertz partnered with Tesla. Now Gores. Hertz to purchase up to 65,000 electric vehicles over 5 years. I just want to know, where the hell do they get their damn money from after their damn bankruptcy? What's going on? They're purchasing like 200,000 cars from Tesla, 65,000 from them. That's actually really impressive. I want to look into it more, though. Availability is expected to begin in spring 2022 in Europe and late 2022 in North America and Australia. That's one that I want to do a lot more due diligence on. Especially, it's still pre-SPAC or pre-DSPACed. So, could actually be a good one once it does DSPAC, if that makes sense. But the buyout rate there. Does anybody know how many shares are going to be issued? Without digging into it too much right now. DWAC2. Oh, that thing's getting clapped. Ooh. Nile. Fucking Nile. Bit Nile. What are you doing? They're clapping me. I'm down 13% on my options. Didn't Hertz buy from an EV company today? Did it help? Yeah, the Gore's Gigaheim. What's the market cap's not really gonna do too much though. You know, it's kind of fixated around the price for the shares, but it might, you know, there's a possibility this thing could rally after the SPAC is done. Kind of like ISPO. You know, look at that bugger. I mean, if Gore's did that, we'd be sitting pretty. Hertz gonna merge with Mullen. LOL. That would be wild. I mean, Kramer said to buy Hertz, so instinctively I want to short it. You know, I want to buy some puts on it, but are they even on the lit exchange, or are they OTC? No, they're not. Now look at Hertz. Look at Hertz doing its damn thing. What's the other one? Oh. Is there the warrants on here? GGPIW. Oh, it's not even on. You can't even buy them on the hood. Man, they robbing the hood. We just want the warrants, man. Let me take a look. I'm getting in tomorrow. Yeah, definitely post any trades you guys are looking at. 3D Corp? Holy shit, 32%. What the hell? What's the news on that? That's a runner right there. She's a runner. She's a track star. She gonna fall down when it gets hard. What is BBIG at after hours? Let's see. BBIG, we like you, BBIG. Come on now, we just need the catalyst. Up like 2%. Up like 2%. So it looks good. It looks good. What is that though? Sphere 3D Corp. Oh, that was the first thing that came up. News, maybe. Let's get basic with it. Sphere 3D stock sinks after market is merged with what? It didn't sink. Are they high? Am I tripping? 3D Corp. We gotta put in the Corp. I don't know. It's interesting, weird, very, very strange, very strange. Is it really about to pop like a cherry? What? Okay, okay. They're actually selling vehicles, though. I actually like them. I actually like them. But European stocks tend to trade at lower multiples because they're not American. They look interesting. Damn, you go from 38,000 to 155,000. Jesus Christ. Is this a concept car? Okay. Oh, you got me in this ad video. Electric Roadster concept. Wait, they sell these in America? You can buy a Polestar in America? Am I tripping? Let me pre-reserve one of these. Let me see. Oh, what? Polestar. What's Polestar's revenue? Ah. Wow. 1.6 billion in revenues for 2021? Holy shit. Plan to break even in 2023 and turn a profit in 2025. Well, that's pretty damn good. The SPAC deal would give Polestar a valuation of $20 billion. That's not bad. That's honestly not terrible. To break even in 2023 and turn a profit in 2025? Wow. What's NIO's revenue? Yeah, 16.26 billion. Oh, that's yen. What's dollars? Oh, what? 2.5 billion. But they are China. They are China. Interesting. What's your thoughts on CEI? I don't really know enough about it to have like a good opinion on it. I like to know or have some kind of thesis about something I give an opinion on. I do know that it's talked about a lot. So I would wait for the activity to die down before initiating a position, or if you were going to, I would buy something that has a lot of time or just buy the shares outright. But I don't know. The odds of it succeeding are probably smaller than it, or are probably a lot greater than it actually, like it'll probably fail before it makes you a lot of money. But I don't know, exactly like if there's a catalyst or something. See, I expect news to drop. News? See, it could be a really good trade, though. If nothing happens tomorrow, then this is going to drag on either in 6 months. Good luck, AMC holders. Polestar is the next Lucid in my opinion. Only they have more sales. Yeah, it almost makes me want to take my some of my Lucid position out. Maybe get some free shares out of it. I just hate how they fucking revise down their guidance 45%. Like, what were they trying to do? Let me see. Did insiders sell? If insiders were selling during that time and they just totally overestimated their numbers, then I might get out. It doesn't look like it though. Well, Peter Rawlinson, March 7th. Yeah. Sold $180 million worth. Yeah, Peter Rawlinson's been a seller. He's been a real seller. Look at Peter Rawlinson, bro. What are you doing? December 6th, he had almost 30 million shares. Now, March 7th, he has 22 million shares. Still a lot, but damn, he's selling out like nobody's business. Motherfucker. Jeez. He ain't playing around. It doesn't come up though, which is weird. Yeah, they like everybody guided jeez. Yeah, like everybody revised their price targets down after their revision. That's terrible. That's terrible. Cars is Lucid. Side is trading from AMC. They haven't in a while. Last time I checked, they didn't do anything. But 7% short interest on Gores. Cost to borrow is the same at 5%, 6%. You're not going to see too much activity on this, though, until you do de-spec. When are they actually going to go trade public? $20 billion valuation is not crazy, especially if they're at especially if they're in America. That's crazy. Yeah, let me see. Can I no, I ain't trying to do this right now. Polestar, you're playing with me. I like the name too. I don't know. Polestar. Like I could see that. What was I gonna do? No, it's not the negative. It's not the negative earnings that is surprising. You know, people expect negative earnings on all of these companies for a long time, besides Tesla. What's surprising is they revised their guidance down 45%, whereas their competitors are not, for the most part. Like Tesla, they're not. They obviously have better supply lines, but you would think it would be easier to see Lucid be able to come up with materials and supply lines and supply chains for 20,000 vehicles comparatively to Tesla's over 1 million in 2022. You would think. I don't know the whole logistics there that are involved, but that's what really sucks about it. Like you're gonna revise down your it just doesn't make sense. Yeah, Hertz by 65,000 Polestars. That's really, really good. It's a pretty attractive valuation, honestly. So where it's trading right now, it's got to be trading for like $25 billion. That would be like the implied valuation. What was I gonna do? $29,000 cars. Yeah, that's not bad. It's a Volvo Cars subsidiary. Yeah, I need to look into it a lot more, but I like the lower price too. You know, 50,000, 40,000 to 100,000. That's a lot more affordable for the average person. You know, people spend 70, 80 grand on trucks and shit. And they expect to be delivering more vehicles than Lucid by 2025, probably with a higher profit margin. Kind of crazy, honestly. I guess I'm just disappointed with Lucid, what they did. I would rather them just be honest, I guess. Hey, bro. Ultra Ape, what's going on, brother? Futures, NASDAQ down about 0.9%, S&P down 0.11%, Dow Jones Industrial Average down about 0.13%. We're going to get some more news here, hopefully shortly, or over the rest of the night about possibly the talks between Russia and Ukraine. It doesn't look very likely anything will come out of that. You'll probably see a pretty neutral day tomorrow, I would imagine. Just because we have that big catalyst on Wednesday that is definitely going to move the markets a lot. So we will see on that one. We shall see. And it's backed by Leonardo DiCaprio. He's a cool character. Oh, we get to like virtually experience this? Is that what they're saying? They need to partner with Matterport on this. Like, what are they doing? Is that a shifter? I mean, yeah, they're in America. Interesting. I like. Messed up my pension so bad. What do you mean it messed up your pension? Oh, oh, more like 100K on a F350. Yeah, I'm always in my patrol car listening to you, but tonight I am off doing DD. Institutional holders are all going to get liquidated.
What do you mean it's going to get liquidated? Like they're going to sell out? Could be a good short-term trade too. Shorter term, you know, before recession comes, the markets average about 20-25% gains before recession actually happens. So could be good. It could be really, really good. We'll just have to see. That thing was a mover, though. It's at a 500% pump, but I ain't investing in it tomorrow. Nut X. Are you what? Jesus Christ. This thing was just halted. Jeez. Oh, it's super low liquidity. Jesus. Yeah, that has like no volume. That's manipulation at its finest. Stocks that have like no volume. And then boom. Was this thing like a... How? What? Yeah, yes. I would stay far away from that. This thing was trading at $3, $2, $1. Hell no. What is going on? Yeah, stay away from that. That's ridiculous. Not financial advice, but, you know. Yeah, things are kind of just chilling out. So we'll see. We'll see. All right. Well, that's going to do it. Thank you guys for tuning in. All of you guys. Evergreens, Lawrence, Cap, Ultra, Ape, all of the moderators, Dusk, all of you guys. Super show. Appreciate all you guys. Let's get this money, baby. You guys stay locked and loaded, ready to go. It's going to get very volatile. Remember that catalyst on Wednesday. Watch for the balance sheet reduction. If you see a big drop coming Wednesday, you know what it was caused from. So that's going to be it. Thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your night, and I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully with some good news to talk.